Welcome to Scaling New Heights, a program by engineers for engineers. We'll take you behind the scenes and provide a small glimpse of what it takes to create the software and services that make our modern world possible. As you'll learn, the problems aren't just technical, they're also human. Each executive on our program is a member of the ENG community. ENG stands for Engage, Network, Grow, and it's a peer network of more than 200 top technical executives at leading SaaS companies. They're each on a personal and professional journey to scale to new heights. In the spotlight today is Mai Le. Mai joined Nextdoor at the start of 2020 as the head of engineering for local and public agency. Her mandate is to build an ecosystem. It's great to see you again, Mai. Welcome.
Thank you, Christine. It's good to see you again.
So first, just tell us what we should know about Nextdoor.
So Nextdoor is a trusted neighborhood hub. You know your neighbors by name. The people are real. They live in your neighborhood. Businesses are verified. On Nextdoor, what's different is we're hyper-local, proximity-based, designed to connect neighbors. You don't have to accumulate followers or get likes. Your digital presence, your storefront is free on Nextdoor. The business page, photos, badging, customizations, and the like.
So as you said, it's very local, it's hyper-local, and it's very important to the small business community, which was hit hard by COVID. Did that cause any issues for you and your team, opportunities or hurdles?
Oh, absolutely. With the pandemic, physical business locations were forced to close. So they either had to go digital or go under. So when our customers spoke, Nextdoor wanted to help. We changed our focus on how to best support them during this time, which meant that we had to review our roadmaps, shift and pulling some initiatives by 2 to 3 quarters. It was our moment to shine at Nextdoor, to step up and make a real difference. The teams got together, ideated in Hangout, Google Docs, Slack, sharing what was happening in our neighborhoods, as well as personal experiences from some of our team members who grew up with small family businesses.
So what did you do? Like, how did you come up with ways to help, and what were the most important ways?
Yeah, you know, one of the first things we did, Christine, was we put together a COVID hub, a resource center with actionable information to help businesses navigate this uncertain time. Things were changing so fast and there was updated information all the time. So on the small business front, we launched new businesses experiences, offered for free, right? By providing the businesses a free page so they can tell their story, increase awareness that their business is still open. They can create business posts to spark conversations in the neighborhood. They can promote their business offerings to boost cash flows such as gift cards, takeout, deliveries. Businesses get instant feedback with the new Insights dashboard that we launched on how their marketing is doing.
Did you have gift cards and that kind of thing before, or was that new for you?
No, that was definitely new. We had planned for it in the 2020 roadmap in my team, but that was going to be later, the second half of the year. So
were there
we pull forward? Yeah.
So were there constraints as you had all these ideas and these things you wanted to do? Did you face hurdles?
Absolutely. A lot of the hurdles we faced were, as you can imagine, on the technical side, but also on the product side, right? Because we didn't have much time to plan. It was all hands on deck. We ideated, designed, built, did a bunch of test jams. It seems like all at the same time. And due to the pace, we did a couple of soft launches, tried a couple of test neighborhoods to get early feedback. And then we began to kind of phase a rollout to catch any of the surprises and fix them. On the technology side, we had planned on enhancing a lot of these products and reducing a lot of our tech debt. So by bringing in and pulling in some of these initiatives, we had to shift a lot of our technical boulders forward. So, we had limited native resource in the org, so we had to fiercely prioritize some of the features we're going to build. So we built some of the things like profile switching and things like gift cards, some of the high requested items on our roadmap. Everything else we said, we'll deprioritize for future releases. We're investing in a lot of resources, right? Because building features is just the first thing, but how does it perform? How does it really work? Because during the pandemic, we figured that the businesses may not have stable cellular Wi-Fi service. So we had to make sure that we had good performance. We reviewed all the critical flows to improve latency. We analyzed and tuned our code bundles. We measured and reduced our packet sizes during loading. We added a lot of instrumentation analytics just to see how is it that is performing in real time, so we can proactively resolve and fix before our businesses noticed.
What was hardest, and did you have a low point in the process?
I think what was really hard was time. Lack of time to think through the product experience, lack of time to design more deeply. So I think that's probably where a lot of the stress was we just ran really fast and hard. We executed, we delivered a lot of things, but when we put it all together, the test jam, we had a lot of product inconsistency, instability that we began to notice. And I think that's kind of the result of what happened when you have limited time and limited resources.
So what did you do? What happened? Take us behind the scenes.
Well, definitely not an easy time when I look back. But for me, panic really came when we did a bunch of test jams, I think at least 3 or 4. And I was testing one early morning on my iPhone. I had set up a fake dog walking business so I can test like a real business. I remember slacking my engineering lead and asking him, should I be worried that this major feature is not working? Luckily, he was up early this morning and we started debugging together. We reviewed how my fake business was set up, my profile. We checked the iOS app version. I even upgraded to the version while we were debugging on the fly. Our Slack conversations, a lot of back and forth. Did you check this? What do you see? I see this. Can you check that for me? And finally, he said, let me get back to you. Let me check with the team. Later that day, he responded and said, as you experienced this morning, we're not ready. We need more time to test and stabilize. So with less than 2 weeks before launch, I had to communicate to my exec stakeholders that we needed more time. Our go-to-market plan had to shift slightly as our product was not ready. The product experience was not predictable. Quality is not where it needed to be.
Yeah, I'll bet that was tough. I mean, it takes a lot of courage for people, you're the person on your team and you, to ask for help, to say you need more time, especially when that clock is ticking, the company's counting on you, your customers, there's all these things that you want to do for the community and for small businesses. Did it launch? How did it work out? What happened?
It launched. We had a lot of press and PR, did a lot of celebration internally. It was definitely worth the effort, worth it for us as a company, and of course, the impact we made in our community and our businesses. Taking that additional time, Christine, made all the difference, right? Because we just can't launch. Launch on time was not it. It had to launch with a good product. With the extra time, the team was able to breathe, relax a bit more, because we've been working nonstop for weeks, stressed out.
Yeah,
that
I get it.
Yeah.
So as you look back, what are a couple of things that you would do differently?
Let me see. In retrospect, I definitely could have communicated better, right? Letting the team know of the things that we are going to be doing and the things we won't be doing, which OKRs were going to be missed because we took on these new initiatives for COVID. I think I could have been a lot more clear because the team actually felt that, boy, we had to do these new COVID initiatives and deliver on our regularly planned roadmap. And of course, I could have hired native engineers much, much sooner.
Well, I think it's a great call out when you say it's important to say what you're not doing as what you are. I think people appreciate that clarity. Fascinating story. I want to ask you a couple of lightning round questions if you're up for it. Fast question, fast answer. All right. What is your guilty pleasure?
Boba tea.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Both.
Me too. How about your favorite ice cream?
Jamocha almond fudge, my number one.
Sounds delicious. What is the biggest or scariest thing you have ever personally scaled?
When I agreed to take on engineering leadership in Jordan.
Yeah, that sounds like it's a whole new Scaling Heights story. So we will save that for the next time. Mai, thank you so much for coming on Scaling New Heights and sharing your story with us.
My pleasure, Christine. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure to see you.
You too. If you want to hear more stories or learn about Eng and how to become a member of the community, visit scalyr.com. That's SCALYR.com. Thank you.